Hi, y'all. It's been a minute, and I love seeing all of you on Instagram. So I'm so happy that I still get to keep in touch, even when I'm not being consistent with my YouTube/Patreon videos. I appreciate you all. For those of you who have subscribed, and for those of you who continue to support my content, I love you and I appreciate you. You are deserving of so much love, and I'm just sending it all to you. Today, I'm really excited to talk about how we use our energy, because we tend to believe that we are most efficient and our brains are most efficient in the morning time, first thing in the day. And I want to point out that we've kind of created a system in which we don't really get to use our brain power for the things that are most important. Now, if you are someone who believes that work is the most important thing, and you get to work and you use all of your brain power before lunchtime and you get all of the shit that was prioritized for the day done, then that's great. That's awesome that that's how you spent your maximum efficiency. And it really relates to this concept of needing to prove yourself in the workspace to show the kind of value that you have as a person. It's totally reasonable because, we get money from work, we get validation from work, we get security from work and stability, and we also get a lot of sickness from work. We get a lot of stress from work. We get a lot of other negative things that I could get into, because I'm not going to really harp on the 9 to 5. I know that for a lot of people, it's the only thing that really works and that is really available. Even more people are working outside of that, are working, 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day. And for those of you, I fucking commend you, because that shit is rough. I love you. I'm sending you extra love energy, extra healing energy. Woo, because that shit is rough. I mean, I was doing that in the nonprofit that I was working for, and it was just, it took a lot. And the only way that I've found that I can work that many hours and not really recognize how swept up in and in flow I was in the work that I was doing was when I would take care of myself in the morning time. So sometimes that meant waking up a little early, which I know, when you're already working 12 fucking 16-hour days, when you're working really, really long days, it really feels like a fucking struggle. And it's really difficult to do, and I'm still going to advocate for it anyway, because I believe that you can spend those first 10 to 20 minutes that you're awake doing things to fill up that pitcher, that self-love pitcher, just for you, first thing in the morning. So I recognized that if I use the best part of my brain's energy first thing in the morning to love myself and to pour all of my energy and all of my intention into creating the vibes that I want to feel for the rest of the day, they just stay that way. Like once I create that ripple effect in the morning, it really just takes on its own life form, and it guides me in such a way that I don't really have to even be concerned about what's coming next. I just keep going, and I feel just completely guided to do everything exactly the way that it is meant to be done. Now, another part of our mental energy is not just for doing physical work, because I think a lot of us think of efficiency and of using our brain power to get things done and to prioritize tasks means that we have to do tasks that are physical, that require like a start and a finish. And I'm also advocating right now for a doing nothing, a literally physical doing of nothing. Whether it just be really, really light stretching, meditation, sitting in front of the mirror and just saying I love you 100 times, or whatever it is, writing in a journal, affirmations. It's literally something that you don't even really use physical energy. You just channel all of the action that's happening upstairs into this tiny little pinpoint that says, I love myself. I love myself. And when you push all of that energy into one focused area and into one focused task, we'll say, because it's really not even like a physical task. It's not like a laborious task where you have to talk to anybody else about it. You have to run around the office trying to get supplies. You're not sitting there like typing away like a maniac. You're just full chill mode, full relaxation mode. The only thing that's really using all of the efficiency of the energy in your whole body is what's going on upstairs. And when you do this in the morning, when you give yourself room, you give yourself space and time to just let your brain do nothing but allow the thoughts to just come and go, it really creates a beautiful, loving container for the rest of the day. And it's just for you. Like, literally, this is your fucking life. Fucking YOLO. Like, you know, whether you believe in reincarnation or past lives, whatever you believe in, if you don't believe in that shit at all, then obviously you're like down for the YOLO. But, you know, even if you believe that we get to come back and we get to do it over again, we still don't have the memories of the stuff that we did before. All we have are the things that we've built on up until this point. And if you've been building on a story in your mind of, I have to go to work and do things that are hard, I have to force myself to get out of bed because I need this, or I am about to lose this if I don't go to work. You're putting a vibration out into the world every morning when that's how you wake up and that's how you start your day. And it rests on all of the stories that you've told yourself in the past. So my idea is to use the energy that you have in the morning, and especially if you're an entrepreneur like I am and you get to create your own schedule, this is a perfect thing to do, because you can spend the morning time and even the afternoon time with as much self-love and self-care as you feel like you need to start off on that happy energy and that happy flow. Start off with happy feet. Literally, sometimes I'm just dancing in the morning. Like that's my stage 2. After I do nothing and I just like let my brain be the one to just like create all of the emotional energy for the day, then I kind of like dance into it, or I do some yoga, or I go and I walk around with my dog and I just love him so much. Like I just watch him and I just feel so much love for his little boy body, for his little man body, and his little expressions and everything that he does. I take time in the morning to create the emotional feeling that I want for the rest of the day. And then my stage 2, if you have time for this definitely do stage 1 at least. Because on your way to work, in the car or on the bus or riding your bike, whatever it is that you're doing, you can do something a little bit physical to shake yourself into that energy and help get the rest of your body and your muscles. It's almost like muscle memory. It's kind of like you're getting your muscles trained to be prepared for the positive vibes that you want to bring with you into that day. And where was I going? I literally was like, where was I going with that other part? And stage 2, after you kind of get your own like emotional, you can get your own physical body into alignment with all of the inspiration that you've gotten from just letting your body really wake up and really come out of rest from the night into the day, and acknowledging that you have the power to start it with love or start it with fear. And when you start it with love, just sounds better, doesn't it? I mean, when I put them next to each other like that, when I put the love and the fear next to each other like that, those are really your only options. And you really don't want to start with the fear, right? But that's where most of us start. That's where most of us start our day and start our energy, is in that fear vibration. So this is my message for the day, is if you feel that you have time in the morning to start your day in any kind of way that you choose, start it choosing to be happy. Start it choosing emotional energy alignment. And then work your way into feeling it through your body so that you can get to work and do the tasks that you need to accomplish and set yourself up for success with those things that you prioritize with beautiful, loving intention. Because the impact is going to be so much greater. The impact is going to be so different when you start with love than if you start with fear. And I know that this resonates for you because it does for pretty much every human. We see the effects of what we manifest and what we draw into our energy and into our space and into our orbit when we are drawing things in from a place of fear versus drawing things in from a place of love. So, again, I'm sending you love. I'm going to let you know that we're just going to listen to some outdoor noises for a moment as we transition into the Patreon side of this video, where I talk about the ways that I actually use and spend my time and the ways that I figured out, the moment actually that I figured out that this is what I need to be doing instead of spending my physical energy first thing in the morning trying to be efficient. So I'm just going to listen to some we're going to do a little ASMR. And we're going to listen our way into the Patreon side. If you are not connected with me on Patreon, the link is going to be below so that you can see the extended part of this video. And I always post the extended versions first on my Patreon and then post my shorter YouTube versions later. As well as I post a lot of other things on Patreon. I mean, I have like a really beautiful community for women with herpes on there, but I also have kind of like a magical community happening. I have a lot of witches who have started to kind of come together and realize that, tarot card reading and learning about the moon phases and things like that is really, really important. So I have that community on Patreon, but I also am going to be starting a series in January for the year of 2019 called Modern Magic for Basic Witches, and it's going to be completely free. So soon I'm going to be creating live videos on my Instagram and on my Facebook and uploading them to YouTube for you so that they can teach. But I'm also going to include a Google Classroom code so that you can go and put this code in. It's going to be totally free, and I'm going to create activities for every single video that I come out with so that you can really find ways to put yourself in alignment. Because I know sometimes when I talk about it, it's like, okay, yeah, that was you, Kellyanne, but like, how do I do that? So I am going to be creating activities as well as like kind of like mini lessons, just from like my teaching days, mini lessons for helping you figure out what is the best version for you. Is that paint on my finger? No, it's not paint on my finger. Oh, it's paint on this finger. Been painting today, can you tell? So I'm going to be creating those, and I'm really excited about it. I hope that you all enjoy. I hope that if you head over to Patreon and you watch the extended version of the video that you enjoy, and we're going to sit tight and get into the Patreon video now.